Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
All that's left are memories. A 95-year-old World War II veteran loses everything in a devastating house fire. One thing about it that makes this horrible situation even worse.
Reduced to rubble, a Macomb County home turns into a tourist attraction after a semi plowed straight through it.
But we're going to begin with an incredible save caught on camera. An off-duty firefighter in the right place at the right time, rushing in and rescuing a man from inside a burning home.
Our Sean Lay spoke to that firefighter right after it happened. Sean joins us live with more. Sean?
And here's exactly what happened. The Carter family minivan here in the driveway catches fire, spreads to the vacant home next door, then jumps over to the Carter family home. Now, that Detroit firefighter, he just got off work, saw the smoke. He didn't hesitate to run up those front stairs there and run right into this house to a man in the back of the home. The corner of Cadju and Waveney on Detroit's east side was intense. The story marked all over the faces of Detroit firefighters. Jeremy Carter is stunned, but he's alive.
I don't even understand what had happened, just that quick.
After he was rescued from his home by an off-duty Detroit firefighter. Amari Dabney was driving by with his son.
Driving down Cadju, saw smoke.
Cell phone video shows you how dangerous this was. A van burning outside and exploding, consuming the home on the left and spreading to the home on the right. Watch as firefighter Dabney, risking his life, not wearing any gear, goes in to look for Carter once. He comes out for a breath, goes right back in.
He was in the back, kind of disoriented.
Dabney finds Carter and gets him out of that home.
Had to drag him out? Yeah, partially, and then he came to, and then he jumped up and ran out with me.
An amazing save.
Another day. This is my job.
That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yep.
That's not all. Dabney had his 2-year-old son in his truck.
Yeah, my son was in the back of my truck, yep.
When he went into action mode.
Do you know it's take your kid to work day? Yeah, so he got to see all of this, yep.
You can feel how thankful this man is.
Oh yeah, I'm really thankful for that one.
Getting out alive.
Man, that's the rule number one, to be thankful everybody all right.
No one got hurt, guys. Just take a look around me. This fire, very intense here. And just standing here hours afterwards, you can just smell how toxic the fire was. The smoke was so thick, firefighters tell me anyone that was inside would not have lasted long. Amari Dabney, Detroit firefighter, great save. Guys, back to you.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time. My goodness. What's the latest with the family, though, that's burned out of their home, Sean?
Yeah, family of 7 people have gathered here. Family members really left with nothing here. They've been here all day collecting things, see what they could salvage. So Red Cross helping as much as they can. But one of the girls here in the family, she dances for Royal Dance Studio. That's right over on East Warren. The owner stopped by. He says he's collecting donations, clothes, and shoes for the entire family. We'll put all of that information on our website. Click on Detroit.com. But the family burned out. Thankful, though, everyone got out okay.
Absolutely. Okay, Sean.
We got breaking news from Lansing, where a 3-judge panel has ruled that Michigan's congressional and legislative maps are unconstitutionally gerrymandered. That means the state legislature is going to have to redraw at least 34 districts before the 2020 election. This decision also requires special state Senate elections to be held in 2020 instead of 2022 as originally scheduled. More fallout, obviously, and a lot of reaction to come. All right, let's get to the weather now. Kind of a dreary day outside, and we now have some rain on the way.
That's right. So let's get over to Ben and see what the timeline is looking like here, Ben.
Oh, the rain is pretty much on top of us, at least if you're south of Detroit. It's pretty light stuff, and we're really not expecting to see a whole lot of that as we get into the evening hours. Later tonight, we're going to see a whole mess of it as we head towards the evening hours. I want to transition, though, from what we're seeing now, which is just rain, to what we have talked about a couple times, and that is the snow that's coming over the weekend. Watch what happens as we get through the upcoming several days going into the weekend. This is Saturday going into Sunday morning, and that stripe of snow is coming right over the southern end of Michigan, and that's more than an inch that we're expecting. We'll look at the totals that we're expecting for Sunday in just a few minutes, guys.
Ben. At this moment, 24 hours ago, police and rescue crews were scrambling to ensure nobody was hurt after a semi-truck plowed through a home on 26 Mile Road.
Yeah, today it's still really a sight to behold. Yeah. This is new video from Sky 4, and you can see there the mess still remains, including some of the grave markers at the neighboring cemetery. Let's bring in Rod Maloney. He's live there tonight. Rod, it's actually turned into somewhat of a tourist attraction.
Yeah, we've had all kinds of people out here all day, and we want to tell you that the Macomb County Sheriff's Department says that it was a tire that blew, a left front tire that blew on an asphalt hauler that caused all of this. And if you take a look, I've got auto parts in my hand here, you've got the ruts in the grass here, and it's a miracle that more and worse didn't happen here, because take a look, you got a telephone pole here, you have a guy wire that's sheared almost in half here. Yes, the house is obliterated, and yes, those gravestones on the other side here are down. Schroeder, Ladner, Ellis, long-standing, well-known local Macomb Township family names, and all day today, the living family members came to visit the loved ones entombed inside the Meade Cemetery. Dana Priestcorn, who didn't want to appear on camera, told us much of his family's buried here in two separate sections.
I just stopped at my mother's. I'm just getting off work, and she asked me to check on Grandpa and my uncle's grave, and I'm going to call her as soon as I leave you guys and let her know that I think it's under the rubble.
Of his discovery, his great-great-grandmother and father's graves were disturbed.
It's devastating, yes.
Foss is another well-known name here. Craig Foss came to check on his grandparents' and uncle's plots. They, too, were leveled. He was more shy than Dana, wouldn't go on camera at all. Still, he told us he's concerned the caskets might be cracked. Was surprised there wasn't much activity by the cemetery staff, who showed up later in the afternoon to assess damage, and was deeply concerned about retreaded truck tires. The truck traffic concerned Dana, too.
Well, I've been noticing, I've lived in this area my whole life, them trucks have been clipping through here pretty good, them asphalt haulers. It's kind of crazy, I guess.
The accident scenes become a bit of a curiosity. All day today, passers-by have been stopping to marvel and take pictures at the scene of an obliterated home and untold damage to a cemetery.
At least nobody was killed in it. It could have been a lot worse.
Now, we put in a number of calls to the cemetery. They've not gotten back to us on what they're going to do here. The Sheriff's Department tells us that there are no charges here. Nobody did anything necessarily wrong. It was a bad and sad accident. It's going to take civil action and insurance claims to take care of the rest of the mess here. Reporting live in Macomb Township, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod. Today marks 5 years since the start of one of the worst public health crises our state has ever seen. It was April 25th, 2014. Then Flint Mayor Dane Walling flipped the switch to draw the city's water supply from the Flint River. And at that moment, it was a celebration. It, of course, also set off a chain of events that will be felt for decades to come. Hank Winchester's been closely covering this crisis for the past half decade now, and he's back in Flint tonight with more. Hank.
Devin, good evening to you. It is hard to believe that it was 5 years ago today when that switch happened. Well, today in Flint, Governor Whitmer here in town, connecting with the people in this community one-on-one, hearing their stories. But she knows she has the toughest job here in this city, and that's rebuilding trust.
They are on track to make sure that all the pipes are replaced by the end of July. That is something that's going to be really important to earning back the trust of the people of this city. Here we go, right here.
Today, Governor Whitmer in Flint cleaning up this park, but it's the problem you can't see. The lead pipes underneath the ground that remain her focus.
Governor, what do you say to the people of Flint who really just, it doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, they really are not going to trust anything from a politician moving forward?
You can't remedy a broken trust like this with words. You have to show up and you have to live your values, and that's what we're doing every single day.
3, 2, 1. 5 years ago today, it happened, the switch. Politicians celebrating as they switched over to Flint River water. Almost immediately, there were issues and concerns. No one knew how bad it would really get.
I mean, the people of Flint are still on filtered water and bottled water because our pipes are being replaced, which is a good thing, but that is an everyday challenge.
Flint pediatrician Dr. Mona Hanna Atisha, one of the first to sound the alarm.
We're almost done replacing our lead pipes. We'll only be the third city in the country that has done that. And we've done it in faster time than any other city. And what we have done for the children is amazing, from childcare to literacy programs to Medicaid expansion to school health services. Those are the things that we need to be celebrating.
We should also be celebrating Dr. Mona, a real hero, an advocate for the people in this community. She still has her medical center here in downtown Flint. Thousands of pipes have been replaced. In fact, almost every lead pipe will be out of the city of Flint by the end of this year. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester, back to you.
Well, others, Hank, of course, will have a harder time finding reasons to celebrate. And you've met and talked with a lot of families. You've gotten to know a lot of people there since covering this crisis. I'm wondering how they're doing now.
And Devin, a lot of people are still struggling. In fact, there's a family, the Dye family. We were in their house about 4 years ago. We go back to their home today. And that family and many others, they have an important message for Metro Detroiters, and we're going to have that for you tonight at 6 o'clock.
All right.
Devin.
Great, Hank. We'll see you then.
Well, the Lions look to hit it big tonight in Nashville. That's where the draft is being held. A massive crowd expected with the Arizona Cardinals, the first team on the clock.
All right, Bernie's here now. Lions not too far down the line from the #1 pick, but been a lot of talk about what they're going to do with it, trade it. What do we? Yes, indeed. You got any good guesses?
Well, this is the night every team looks like they're a genius. I mean, they say the right thing. The pick they make is going to be a Hall of Famer, but it rarely works out that way. We've got highlights in Nashville. That's the site of this year's draft. Remember, tonight is just the first round. Rounds 2 and 3 tomorrow. 4, 5, 6, and 7 on Saturday. Lions have the 8th overall pick. Last week, Lions GM Bob Quinn said best available player is his pick right now.
The draft is a blend of need and best available. I think this year, just looking at our situation right now with what the board looks like and what our perceived needs are, probably a little bit more pushing towards the best available player.
That's what they got, the best available player. Much more coming up with Bob Quinn later in sports.
Exciting night ahead.
Yeah.
All right, Brian. Coming up, even the creators of Jeopardy thought it would be statistically impossible. Turns out it isn't.
That's right. Coming up here at 5, what makes Jeopardy James' record-setting run so different from the other winners?
Also, it's only getting worse for the mayor of Baltimore. New at 5, why a children's book is at the center of a federal raid on her home and office. Coco.
A World War II veteran and his wife need a new place to live after their home was heavily damaged in a fire. We'll tell you how you can help.
Step of the way.
New at 6.
Come on, get out, come on. Oh, come on, all right, your car's on fire, let's go, bro.
Serving and protecting. Police officers from Macomb County go out of their way and into another city to save the life of a suspected drunk driver.
Her 2-year-old son died when he was locked in a makeshift cage.
I have no words for that.
But charges against the couple accused have now been dropped. We'll tell you why.
Kelly Stafford is sharing more details of her difficult recovery from brain surgery in what was a 3 a.m. Instagram update. The wife of the Lions quarterback, Matthew Stafford, shared the struggle of not being able to spend any time with her 3 young children. In fact, in her post, she said she's only seen them once since her surgery last week. As we reported yesterday, she returned to the hospital Wednesday after struggling to taper off steroids and pain medications.
Chuck Smalley fought in World War II. He built his family home in Flat Rock back in the 50s with his own 2 hands. But now that house and everything in it is gone after a devastating fire. And now Chuck and his wife, who are both in their 90s now, are forced to pick up the pieces. Coco McAvoy is in Flat Rock tonight. And Coco, your heart really just aches for them.
Yes, it's devastating. The fire started in what was the garage and spread to the home. And you can see now that there's just piles of rubble left behind, and the siding is also burned. But this house was more than just a house for the Smalley family. It was a place where there were a lot of memories, and now they need a new place to live. This house on Vreeland tells a story.
How lucky I was. That was luck.
The love story of Chuck and Mary Smalley.
Ever since we met, we've been
together.
Chuck Smalley is a World War II veteran. He met Mary after the service. The two fell in love and married in 1949.
We've been happy.
Yes, we've been happy.
Chuck built that house on Vreeland, and at 95 and 91 years old, the Smalleys still call it home.
God has been good to us over the years, really.
But with every blessing comes a burden.
I don't question God's purpose in it. That must be to teach me something. I don't know what it is.
The Smalleys' house caught fire. Firefighters tried salvaging what they could.
I couldn't register that this was happening.
There are little to no belongings left. There is one item, though, that remains, a symbol of the Smalleys' love.
But she was a very beautiful bride.
It was love that brought the Smalleys to the house on Vreeland 7 decades ago. And that same love is strong enough to withstand anything. And the Smalleys have supportive children and grandchildren who are trying to help, but they really need your help. If you'd like to donate, we've got a link to their GoFundMe on our website, clickondetroit.com. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
Yeah, your heart just breaks for them, Coco. All right, thank you.
Tough, but at the heart of it is a wonderful love story, isn't it?
Indeed, in the dress, it just, remarkable.
Lovely. All right, Bren's turn now, although you may not.
Just get out of here, man.
Let's, we might want to put out a warning here about what you're about to hear.
The looks that I've been getting today have been very aggressive. Yeah.
I kind of like that.
That's exactly it. And yes, you're right. We have snow coming this weekend, and we're not talking just a couple flurries. We're going to get to that in just a second. We've got rain on the way tonight, and it's more than a few drops, too. There are parts of the area that may end up with 1 inch plus of water just from tonight's rain. It's all light right now, mainly in our south zone and some of the downriver communities, but we're sort of sandwiched in between two systems. We've got the rain up here to the north, but it's this area that's really going to soak us mainly after midnight tonight, and that's going to keep going through tomorrow morning's commute. Sign of the season, at least the ice rink is gone down in Campus Martius, so that's starting to look a little bit more like spring. 59 is where we're at temperature-wise. We do have a lot of clouds at Metro. Some of our north and west zone, though, have seen a decent amount of sunshine today, and we have had temperatures there in the 60s, but the 50s have reigned supreme where those clouds and a couple of those sprinkles have already materialized. Let's time everything out. That's the low that's going to get us wet tonight. You can see that rain's going to be with us, really getting going after about 9, 10 o'clock tonight, and then overnight. That's when we're going to see a lot of that moderate and possibly even heavy rain. Tomorrow morning's commute, not going to be fun, especially on the east side. That all gets out here in the second half of the day, and then look what comes in on Sunday. That is snow that's going to be moving through, and there will be some spots that actually pick up as much as 3 to 4 inches of snow. Now, it is not going to stick on the pavement. Temperatures are getting to 52 in the afternoon, so it will not be around very long, but you're going to wake up and see some out on the lawn, and that's going to probably scare a few folks, but it's going to be there anyway. Here are the rainfall totals tonight in our 4-zone forecast, and all these blue shaded areas are over 1 inch of water just tonight. South zone, that's where a lot of us are going to see that rain, especially down here closer to the lake. Almost 1.5 inches in Monroe and Luna Pier. West zone numbers getting much lighter as a lot of that rain is going to be in the eastern half of the area. Maybe as little as 1/4 inch up in Fenton, and maybe just a few hundredths up in Flint. North zone also some of the lower totals as most of that stuff stays on the east and south parts of the area. 62 on the high side tomorrow as that rain comes to an end after lunch. And then here's the weekend. Notice that those highs are going to be in the 50s. Heck, the morning lows are going to be above freezing. So again, this stuff is just going to be out there to annoy Kimberly and most
a lot of other folks.
Metro Detroit. It's just like a prank.
Exactly.
Our way.
In and out.
All right, then. Let's check in with Evrod.
The competition is pretty stiff here at the first Robotics Championship at Kobo Center in downtown Detroit. I'm Evrod Cassamy. Coming up, I'll show you how one local team is getting ready to compete with STEM talent from all across the world.
All right, Evrod, but first, devastating new details emerging in the death of a 5-year-old boy as his parents stand charged with his murder. Next. An autopsy is scheduled for today to determine the cause of death for 5-year-old Andrew Frund.
Yeah, police believe the Illinois couple who reported their son missing had actually killed him a few days before. They believe the couple beat him and forced him to stand in a cold shower for an extended period of time. The little boy's body was found wrapped in plastic and buried in a shallow grave only a few miles from the family's home. The couple is expected back in court Monday. An ambulance was involved in an accident this morning in Livonia. It happened at the intersection of Plymouth and Newburgh just after 8 this morning. According to police, the ambulance was on its way to the hospital with a patient when it hit the side of a minivan. Thankfully, no serious injuries were reported. The cause, though, is still under investigation.
If you answered every one of these questions correctly in both single and the double Jeopardy rounds, you would earn $54,000. That is not counting on massive wagers, though, on the daily doubles, which means it is not counting on contestants like James Holzhauer. 15 wins under his belt now. He has racked up a total of $1.1 million, and he's broken several records on his way. Take a look. The top 4 record totals for single game winnings all now belong to Holzhauer, earning $1,131,000 for about 20 minutes of work per program. So, can he be stopped before he bankrupts Jeopardy? And what records will he break next? You'll find out tonight at 7:30 here on Local 4.
New at 5:30.
The local hospital system is trying to reduce the risk of opioid addiction and help patients battling chronic pain. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Ahead, see how you can help fight the opioid crisis and learn about options to ease pain in a safer way.
The field of Democratic presidential hopefuls just got a little more crowded with a big name. Former Vice President Joe Biden is officially in the race, and President Trump is responding.
The family of a 15-year-old girl shot and killed in October of 2016 is pleading for justice. We'll show you who police believe they're looking for.
She never had a sweet 16, never got to pick out a prom dress. Her family never got the chance to walk her across the stage at graduation, and they want somebody to pay for that. Today would have been Jada Rankin's 18th birthday.
She was leaving a family party when a speeding car came barreling down the street. Her brother yelled, "Slow down." The driver then got out of the car and started shooting. Jada Rankin was just 15 years old. Her family spoke today as they search for justice. Coco McAvoy has the story.
Somebody took my baby.
It's a difficult day for the family of Jada Rankin.
Jada was just being so excited that today is her birthday. And all I have is memories of my baby. 2019 was the year she couldn't wait for.
In October of 2016, 15-year-old Jada was shot and killed at her brother's birthday party on Ardmore Street. Her brother yelled out to a speeding driver to stop. The driver instead started shooting into the crowd.
She was honest, she was pure, she was my baby, she was perfect.
Since Jada's murder, police released a sketch of the man they believe may be responsible for the shooting.
I'm gonna see you. I'm going to see you. I'm gonna look you in your face. And you're gonna look me in my face. You're gonna tell me why.
The Detroit City Council renamed a playground in her honor this year. The family is hoping for justice after their loved one was taken away from them so suddenly.
I ask is why? Why Jada?
And the family is really hoping that someone comes forward. There is a $13,500 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. And of course, you will remain 100% anonymous. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
Yeah, your heart breaks for the family. Thank you, Coco.
He is in. Today, Joe Biden made it official. He is running for president. The announcement came in an online video released this morning, taking direct aim not at the other Democrats, but at President Trump. Blaine Alexander is following the announcement from Washington and the president's response. Blaine?
Well, hello to you from Washington. Well, rather than discussing health care or other policy issues, Biden took a slightly different approach from other candidates in the field and went directly for President Trump.
Joe Biden is officially in.
Hey guys, how are you?
The former vice president, already a frontrunner in a crowded Democratic field, launching his long-anticipated campaign with a kickoff video focused not on policy, but the current president.
But if we give Donald Trump 8 years in the White House, he will forever and fundamentally alter the character of this nation, who we are, and I cannot stand by and watch that happen.
Casting himself as Democrats' best chance to beat President Trump. The president tweeting a greeting of his own. Welcome to the race, Sleepy Joe.
He's concerned. The president responded to that immediately, and that should tell you everything that's ahead for this president in terms of having to deal with a Joe Biden.
The chair of the RNC already pouncing, along with the president's former advisor.
No chance of that he can take on Donald Trump one-on-one. He doesn't have the stamina. He doesn't have the smarts.
Biden served as Delaware senator for nearly 4 decades and as number 2 to the nation's first black president. But in a field of increasingly diverse candidates, Biden is a contrast and was recently saddled with accusations from women who say his contact with them, while not sexual, made them feel uncomfortable. At age 76, if elected, Biden would be the oldest president to ever take office.
America's coming back like we used to be. Ethical, straight, telling the truth.
Now launching his 3rd bid for the White House. And today, a spokesperson for former President Obama said that choosing Joe Biden as running mate back in 2008 was one of Mr. Obama's best decisions. But so far, no endorsement in this race for Biden or for anyone else. Well, today, Biden said that he asked the former president not to endorse him, saying that whoever wins should do so on their own merits. In Washington, I'm Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
Okay, Blaine. An Oakland County judge who was arrested last year on suspicion of drunk driving has been ordered to take an unpaid suspension.
Judge Julie McDonald from Bloomfield Hills allegedly caught on camera failing a sobriety test. This was after being stopped for suspicion of speeding. According to police, a blood alcohol test registered a .102. Her suspension is expected to last 45 days.
Growing calls this evening for the mayor of Baltimore to resign.
Federal agents executed search warrants today at several locations, including the embattled Mayor Catherine Pugh's homes and City Hall. Agents were seen carrying out boxes out of the building and then loading them into vehicles.
This has gone on for far too long and is entirely unfair to the citizens of Baltimore.
The calls for the mayor's resignation come during a scandal involving her self-published children's books, which she sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars to groups that do business with the city.
Today, Detroit police paused to honor a beloved member of the force.
Someone we all knew quite well. Sergeant Erin Stevens spent many years working as the department's spokeswoman. Sadly, Stevens passed away days after she retired. Tim Pamplin was there today for a special tribute.
This is a good day. This is a very powerful day. This is a day that all of us should want. Erin was an awesome person, a beautiful person.
It was a celebration of life for Sergeant Erin Stevens of the Detroit Police Department. She retired from the force at the beginning of the month. 3 days later, she succumbed to complications of MS. She was, as we say, one of the good ones.
She was and will always be an example of how we should all strive to be. That's it. That's her legacy.
Her face may be familiar. She was the spokesperson for the department, the person that spoke to us, the media, when we demanded answers. And she always did it graciously. So as a young man plays his violin, hundreds of red and blue balloons gently lift over Detroit Police Headquarters. And a heartfelt thank you from her sister.
Thank you for loving her. Thank you for protecting her. I enjoyed sharing my sister with you. Just thank you. Thank you.
That is the scene at police headquarters this afternoon. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Look at that remembrance, and so poignant. 3 days after,
I know.
after such a long, hard work.
Such a special lady, too.
Yeah.
She meant a lot to all of us.
Right.
Still to come, an update on a recall that has left more than 100 people sick.
It's a salmonella outbreak that has people hospitalized. The recall is for pre-cut fruit from Cato Foods. It covers 10 states. That does include Michigan. It includes a number of stores, including Kroger, Target, Trader Joe's, and Whole Foods. Center for Disease Control says if you're not sure about pre-cut fruit in your fridge, throw it away to be on the safe side.
Robots have invaded downtown Detroit, sort of. A competition putting STEM skills to the test has brought nearly 40,000 people from all over the world to our city. Evrod Cassimy takes us inside Kobo to show us how students are using robots to compete against each other.
It's go time for people competing in this year's first robotics competition at Kobo Center. Teams of students are going head-to-head in a competition to see whose robot performs the best.
I'm extremely excited. I'm slightly nervous. This is only our team's second time ever at States, and this is the first year we've actually earned our way through.
Meet Quinn Austin. His team, Code Red Robotics, is from Milan. Like all other teams, they're given about 6 weeks and a list of materials to create a functioning robot. They're putting their STEM skills to the test.
I know what I've learned here with FIRST is going to help me, and it's going to be applicable in the real world as soon as this summer.
Like many of these students, Quinn is an aspiring computer engineer. His mother, who's here watching his team compete, couldn't be more proud to have 2 sons in the competition.
I'm very proud of my kids. They've both kind of been mechanically inclined since they were little, and they love to work with their hands, they love to build.
And this is where Quinn and his team put their robot to the test, on this practice field, before coming out here to the competition field where they're competing against thousands of people from all over the world. Nearly 40,000 students from more than 40 countries like Israel and Germany are here in Detroit competing. Their objective is to create a robot that can move fast, climb, and pick up and drop objects. The larger objective is to use robotics to empower the students to pursue STEM education and careers. Win or lose, for Quinn, it's a mission accomplished.
I'm actually taking the first steps to doing that. FIRST helped me get into a position at the college I want to go to, and the college, through their co-op program, helped me. I'm starting with Polaris this summer as a paid intern.
In Detroit, Evrod Cassimy, Local 4.
I just love having that event back in town.
Isn't that fantastic?
So great. And watching all the teams around downtown
cool.
right now. Yep. The Detroit Zoo is celebrating a new addition.
A Japanese macaque, commonly known as a snow monkey, was born earlier in the week. The baby's arrival marks the first snow monkey born at the zoo in 13 years. This brings the total number of snow monkeys at the Detroit Zoo to 9. And we are told tonight mom and baby are both doing very well.
Baby looks really happy there anyway.
Isn't that a sweet picture?
Snug. Yep. This should serve as an important lesson. That BCC column in your email is dangerous.
Coming up new tonight, what happened to Magic Johnson that reportedly led him to abruptly quit his job with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Also, it turns out your nose isn't the only thing that helps give you your sense of smell. New here at 5:30, how a snake and a curious 12-year-old helped lead to a pretty cool medical discovery. Frank.
A local hospital system is trying to reduce the risk of opioid addiction and help patients battling chronic pain. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, see how you can help fight the opioid crisis and learn about options to ease pain in a safer way.
New at 6.
Neighbors behaving badly. This time, one of them is charged with a felony, and he happens to be a local councilman. That story new at 6.
And the answer is, what makes him so good? They call him Juggernaut James, and he is the phenom on Jeopardy who's making big bank. A local woman who went up against him says she thinks she understands the magic. We'll explain.
All right, Paula. In Good Health tonight, there is a lot of debate this week over who's to blame for the opioid crisis and the best way to fight it.
But there's really no debate that more needs to be done. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with one local health system's efforts to try to reduce the risk of opioid addiction and help patients battling chronic pain.
One thing that all of the experts agree on is that there is no one solution to the opioid crisis. Beaumont Health is hoping to make it easier for doctors, patients, and the public to help with 2 upcoming events.
It's similar to keeping an armed weapon in the reach of your children. You know, I think these are deadly medications. They're addictive medications.
Dr. Roy Soto doesn't mince words when it comes to the potential risk of opioids. He's a Beaumont anesthesiologist and president of the Michigan Society of Anesthesiologists.
The addiction happens very, very quickly. So using these pills for 1, 2, 3 days can cause addiction that can last years. If you talk to opioid addicts, a large percentage of them say that their first exposure to those medications were found in their family's medicine cabinets. We know that realtors are concerned about that during open houses, that people go through and look for narcotics in medicine cabinets, and people don't really know what to do with those medicines. They keep them just in case. But if they want to get rid of them, they don't know what the right thing to do is.
Tomorrow, 7 Beaumont hospitals will be hosting a drug take-back event from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Not only do we take opioids, but we also take leftover muscle relaxants and Valium and any other medications that people don't want to keep around their house.
Disposing of leftover drugs properly is critical, but what about patients who are still in pain? Beaumont wants to address that issue too.
We have a free community event, and it's really to educate people about a non-opioid approach to managing pain.
The event is Tuesday, April 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Beaumont Royal Oak Administration Building. It's geared toward people with chronic pain, including back, leg, arm, or pelvic pain, failed knee surgery, or peripheral neuropathy. Dr. Kenneth Peters is one of the many panelists.
What we're really highlighting at this is something called neuromodulation, or stimulating nerves. There's different types of electrodes that we can put at the nerves that would override pain signals.
They'll also discuss a broad range of approaches to pain.
We have physical therapy, we have, pain psychology, we have integrative medicine talking about acupuncture and other things like that.
The message to patients, don't give up.
There's always hope. There's always something else that we can do. And even if we can't find something right now, we're always doing research trying to find, new technologies, new treatments that can really improve quality of life.
Now you can find all of the details on the drug take-back event tomorrow and the chronic pain panel on Tuesday on the health page at clickondetroit.com. Now the pain panel event is free, but if you're planning to go, they would like you to register in advance just so they know how many people to expect. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Doc. Now here's a look at what we're working on coming up for tomorrow at 5.
He's a retired federal agent with one final case to solve.
The evidence pointed to one individual that ordered a hit and 2 individuals that conducted the killings.
A triple murder in the suburbs, unsolved for nearly 35 years.
That was the biggest crime that ever hit Sterling Heights.
Determined to reveal the killers because one of the victims is his brother.
I had to go over and notify my mother.
The defenders take you inside the investigation tomorrow at 5.
It's an office mishap that might have made Magic Johnson resign from the LA Lakers.
Rick Bucher of the Bleacher Report says that Magic accidentally got emails that were not intended for him. Those emails were between the Lakers owner and the general manager, and they were critical of Magic's work as the team president. According to Bucher, Magic saw he didn't have the owner's support and quit after the Lakers' last game without telling anyone.
Hanson's.
A volunteer firefighter scales a 60-foot tree to rescue a pilot whose plane went down. Firefighters in Idaho say the 79-year-old pilot called 911 after his plane crashed, just as you see, into a treetop. Rescuers brought in rope and climbing gear to help find a way to get the man out. After careful consideration, they decided to call in a volunteer firefighter. Firefighters to the rescue. In fact, he owns a hazardous tree removal business as well and felt pretty comfortable climbing that high.
Rescued drones out of trees, got cats out of trees, but I've never climbed a tree with a plane in it. I've never seen anything like this happen. I'm just glad I was able to help.
Yeah, it was his first pilot. Right now, police are trying to figure out exactly what went wrong with the flight. My. A boy's curious mind prompts a surprising new discovery about how human senses work.
The boy's father started researching after his son wanted to know if snakes flick their tongues to smell. For the long time, taste and smell were thought of as independent senses, right? Well, after some research, it turns out the odor detecting sensors in your nose are also present in your taste buds. Researchers hope the new insight will shed some light on how smell and taste interact.
How have we not known that?
Fascinating, right? A new toy is being designed to help teach reading to blind children.
Lego is creating a new type of Lego brick to teach blind children how to read Braille. Company is using an invention from the Danish Blind Society. Each Lego block will feature one Braille letter, and Lego hopes this teaching tool can be used as a toy by both blind but also sighted children as well to kind of help them become multilingual.
Kudos to Lego for that. Local 4 News at 6 is next.
And we are working on stories coming up from Southfield, Dearborn Heights, and Macomb Township. And here's Hank Winchester.
Flint, 5 years after the water switch, many pipes have been replaced, but the trust is still broken. You're going to hear from the real people of this community new tonight at 6 o'clock.
But first,
look away, we're gonna bust the window out, okay? And you gotta get out of the car. Can you open that door? Your car is on fire.
Police from Macomb County do whatever they can to save the life of a suspected drunk driver whose car caught fire after he crashed.